Hey y'all, as my cousin in Baltimore would say, listen, welcome to La Cocina. That's the kitchen in Spanish if you didn't catch that. But I really wanted and had a taste for some tortilla chips. And I ate up the ones that I had. So I was like, ooh, I bet there's an air fryer recipe. So I looked one up and I was like, let's try it together. So hang with me, let's see how this tastes. Okay, so for these tortilla chips, we're going to use the Live G-Free, gluten-free spinach wraps from Aldi. And so if you've ever tried these before, then you'll know what they taste like. But I didn't realize they were going to break up so badly. Let me open this and I'll show you. But the wraps, like, just broke up. So I was like, I got to figure out what I'm going to use them for because I can't use them for wraps like I wanted to. So I'm going to use a good old pizza cutter. This is from the Dollar Tree on a plate here. And I'm also going to put a little bit of olive oil. This is just the, is that Carlini brand extra virgin olive oil. Apparently you just need to rub a little bit of that on your tortilla slices after you cut them into little triangles. So you're supposed to cut these up, and then these are not going to be triangles because you already see what I'm working with. But you're supposed to cut these up and rub it on there with like a brush that you use in the kitchen. But child, listen, I don't know what my little kitchen culinary brush is. So we're going to be ghetto and use a paper towel like people do when they're greasing their pans, okay? So I just poured a little bit of the olive oil in a bowl while I was talking about all of this. And so I'm going to use that and brush a couple of the tortilla triangles, or more or less triangle, and come right back. So you'll see that I didn't do very many of these, only because in the article and the recipe that I read, which I will link in the description box below, they suggested that the best way to do this is to do a single layer in your air fryer. But look, ghetto. So I did wash my hands before I started this whole process. And I just grabbed a paper towel, ball it up a little bit, and we're gonna dab these triangles. And apparently you should dab both sides and then sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on them. Or I guess you could do it without salt if you don't like salt or you're trying to decrease your sodium. But your girl likes a little saltiness on my tortilla chips. So I will be adding salt. And I'm just going to use some regular, regular schmegular salt that I have. Look how raggedy this looks. It's the Royal Crystal iodized salt, so nothing fancy. I don't want too much salt, so I'm going to sprinkle it in my hand so I can judge how much is actually going on there. So I'm not using a ton, even though I talked all that trash about how I wanted a little bit of salt. I don't want it to be too salty. So yeah, this is like the lazy girl way to do this because I'm sure there's a better way. I just always use my salt that way out of the container. So I don't have a little salt shaker that I could have used. But, you know, if you got a salt shaker, then of course you could do that. But I'm going to flip these over. Uh-oh, this one broke. You see that? I told you this was falling apart. So we'll see how this holds up in the air fryer. Okay, I'm going to come back, do the other side. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect because the air fryer is going to do all the perfection and the perfecting. So yeah, let's just dab a little bit more. All right, so I finished those. I'm going to add a little bit more salt to my hand. You see that little clump? I guess, yeah. Let's just use that. All right, let's get a little bit more on these. Ooh, yeah, there's a lot of salt. All right, so let me open this up. I guess I could have let it preheat or whatnot, right? This girl must have used this thing. I'm talking about the people that I live with, y'all. All right, so I'm going to drop this in. It's clean, but the bottom just looks rough. Oh, I guess she didn't dump it the last time. She must have done something. Anywho, I'm gonna lay these down. Apparently, you're supposed to put it on 360 degrees. One recipe I looked at said do this at 360 degrees for 4 to 6 minutes. And it didn't say that you had to turn them over. But another recipe I looked at suggested turning them over halfway through. So I guess I'll see how the first batch turns out. And then decide if I need to, flip the other ones over. All right, that's almost, I only got like 2 more pieces, so I'm gonna put some on top of each other. All right, so let's get started. So I went ahead and set it for 360. Oh, not 15 minutes. Let's turn that down. Let's try 8 minutes and see how that goes. So I will be back. You hear the air fryer? I'm so excited. While I'm waiting though, I decided to read one of the books that I've been looking at for Latino or Latine or Hispanic Heritage Month. This one wasn't in the video that I did on books that I'm reading for Latine Heritage Month. This one I got at a different time, but I really like it. My Papi Has a Motorcycle by Isabel Quintero. Yay! The air fryer beeps. All right, so let's turn that off. Uh-oh. Ooh, hold on, why is my camera not working? Okay, there we go, we're focused. So they look nice and brown. Let's take them out. All right, I'm gonna use a spoon and dump these out. Ooh, it sounds nice and crispy. You hear that? I guess I could have just taken the thing out, right? But that was too easy, as my mama would say. All right, y'all, so I threw a second batch in and I did not add salt this time. I'm gonna flip it halfway through. Let's move this. All right, like I said, the other one, I'm gonna flip it basically halfway through, so at 4 minutes. I just set the timer for 4 minutes at 360, and I'll go check them and flip them over and see how I like them that time, or that way. So I'm gonna use, excuse me, another Aldi salsa con queso. Anyway, I like this kind because I feel like it's a very rich cheese sauce and has medium heat, but I really like this kind. Have you tried this? Let me know if you tried it. This is really why I need the tortilla chips. So we're gonna add a little bit of that over here on the side, and let's see how this tastes. I'm so excited. Thank you, Lord, for this food. First, let's see what it tastes like without any sauce on it. It just kind of tastes like, I'm trying to think, what does this taste like? It doesn't taste exactly like a tortilla chip, but maybe it's because I use the gluten-free kind. But it's not bad. I'm gonna add some sauce. It definitely works. So I'll come back and let you know what I think by flipping them over halfway, if they taste any differently. Y'all, so the first batch, I put olive oil on both sides, salt on both sides, left them in for 9 minutes in the air fryer on 360 degrees, right? They weren't the best, but they also weren't the worst. It was okay. The saltiness was good. The salsa helped. Then the second batch, I put olive oil on both sides and did no salt. I put it in for 4 minutes, opened the air fryer, used the same tongs that I used to take them out from the first batch. And with the second batch, I used the tongs, turned them over, let them go for another 4 minutes. And I think I realized what I did wrong. I think I told y'all that I was supposed to put them in for 4 to 6 minutes. I didn't put them in for too long. So now I put them in for like 4 minutes. I did a third batch, because that second batch, that wasn't fit for nobody. So I had to throw them away. As much as I don't like throwing away food, Lord have mercy, I threw them joints in the trash. Because they had no taste to them, because they didn't have no salt. And I'm not gluten-free. This might be a frequently asked question for this video. I don't have a gluten-free diet that I adhere to. I do eat gluten-free things from time to time, because you can find some good gluten-free stuff. But no, I don't usually eat gluten-free. I just happened to try that particular brand of the wraps because it had a lot of fiber, and that's what I was going for. So let me come back once the last batch finishes. All right, so batch number 3. I did not flip over. I did put olive oil and salt on both sides, and I put it in the air fryer at 360 for 4 minutes. So you can see it still kept some of its green color this time. And it's still kind of crispy, but the insides still have a little bit of softness. So you can still smell like you can still smell like the tortilla or the wrap, like the original way it smelled. And the first batch, it was like a family member that you don't invite to the cookout. Like it wasn't that good. It was like, ooh, please. You seen that thing on Twitter where the little boy gets off the bus and he's like, "Mommy, terrible sandwich." It was like first day of school. It kind of felt like that. So I'm gonna try it this time. Much better. I didn't realize I wasn't following instructions. Okay. Much better. So the moral of the story is, you're gonna make these, whether you use gluten-free wraps or tortillas or not, is to follow the instructions. So look at the recipe linked in the description box and let me know if you try it. This is good. Even without the cheese.